Hi, it's Mofoluwaso Ilevbare, and today I want to talk about 6 questions that you need to ask yourself even before you start writing. Okay, so I must admit to you, it's great to be an author. Not just an author, a best-selling author. People want to talk to you, they want to hear what your story is about. And yes, it feels great when people send in testimonials to me from time to time to tell me how one thing I shared with them changed their lives forever. So maybe you've been dreaming this year to write a book. You want to have that best-selling author. You want to be able to take a guide with you when you go for networking meetings, or maybe you want to be able to share with potential sponsors. What are 6 questions that you need to ask yourself even before you start writing? And I've seen many people who tell me, you know what, Felicia, I started writing, but I got tired along the way, or I got stuck, or I'm just looking for the momentum to just get going and finish this book. Maybe you're in one of those categories. You're struggling with finishing your book. These 6 questions are important because if you ask them and you try to answer them as honestly as you can, it probably can help you to start and to finish. So the first question to ask yourself before you even start to write is why? Why do you want to write a book? This might sound silly, but I'm telling you, it's a very important question because it's the essence of everything else that you will do, the journey you will go on as you write this book. It will be the motivation behind the days when you can't find the words. It will be the motivation behind the days when you're just tired. It will be the motivation that will pull you through to write your story even when you don't feel like sharing those deepest secrets that you have in you. Why do you want to write a book? Is it to help to promote your business? Is it to help to build your credibility? Is it to share your story? Is it to inspire someone? Is it to document your life? What is the essence and why do you want to write? Let the why pull you through. So start with the why and write down why you want to write a book. Question number 2 is what? What do you want to write about? You know, I've seen people who come to me and say, hey, Fofo, I want to write a book. You wrote 10 books in 1 year. How did you do it? I want to write. And I ask them, what do you want to write about? And they mumble a couple of words here and there, or maybe tell me 1001 reasons. But what is that one thing that you want to write about? What is it? What do you want to share? Okay, take the time to sit down and think through it. And, you know, I prepared a workbook that can help you. And in the Unstoppable Authors Bootcamp, we'll be going through that workbook. So if you really want to write a book this year, I encourage you to click the link below and join this bootcamp because I assure you we will help you to cut through all the clutter and get things done really fast. So what do you want to write about? That's the next question. Number 3, whom do you want to write to? So who is the book for? You know, there are many times I remember when I was writing one of my books, it's called Girl Courageous. And that book is amazing because I shared a few of my stories. And my intent was to share it with girls from ages 10 to 19. You know, in your state, we're creating an awards called Girl Courageous Awards, and it was for any girl in different sectors, technology, music, arts, you know, community development. Your state that we're already doing great things at a very young age. And so the book was titled Girl Courageous. But I remember when I finished the first draft and I sent it off to my editor. My editor came back to say, okay, the first half of the book seems to be targeted towards young girls. But she said the second half of the book and the way you ended the book seemed to be for matured women. So who are you writing for? And I'm telling you, it hit me hard because I thought, boom, I had finished writing, my book was done. Only for her to tell me, you know what, it's just half done. The other half have no relevance to young girls. And so I had to go back to the drawing board and really see, who do I want to write this book for? Who do I want to address? What is it that I want to address? Okay, so your why, your what, and then who. Be very clear. Is it working moms? Is it working dads? Is it kids under 10? Is it Generation Y? Is it Generation Z? Is it baby boomers? Is it teachers? Who do you want to write the book for? Because that will help you to tailor down to it. And one little secret I give is picture someone in particular in your mind and write it like you're writing a letter to that person. That's something I'm still learning, but it's something I feel I should share with you, since you are just about to start your journey or continuing your journey with writing your book. So let your why pull you through. Identify and clarify your what, and then who are your target audience? Who are the people you want to write the book for? Number 4 is to ask yourself, when do I want to finish this book? I always give this analogy of when you have an exam. I'm sure many of you have written an exam before. Now, when you apply for an exam and the date is not yet set, there is a way you study. There is a way you read past questions. Maybe you watch TV in between, and once in a while you pick up the textbook again. But the moment you hear the announcement that the date for the exam has been set, guess what happens? Everything in your biological clock and your mind, you begin to reprogram your mind, right? You begin to read more than usual. You cut out things like TV. For some people, coffee becomes your best friend, or you just find out that in the night, you cut down on hours that you sleep because the date has been set. So there is a difference when a date has been set. It's a milestone. It's a kind of goal that you set towards writing the book. So when do you want to finish your first draft? Is an important element that we teach in the Unstoppable Authors Bootcamp. And I want to teach that method to you, because once you can set the date, then you work backwards to say, where am I now and what do I need to do to finish the book? So your why, your what, your whom, and your when. And then the 5th question you need to ask yourself is, where do I want to write? It's very important, because people feel that, authors that are pulling out books one after the other, they really must have the secrets that they're using. Of course, there are many techniques to writing a book. You don't have to write it yourself. But now I'm talking to people who really want to sit down and write the book yourself. If you want to write it yourself, you have to ask yourself, where will I write? So if I'm as a nursing mom with kids under 10, there are certain times of the day that I cannot write, especially when my kids are at home. I probably have to wake up earlier in the morning, or I have to do it on a weekend, or maybe go out to a place where I know I'll have some form of calmness, or maybe in a library. Where do you want to write? What is your best writing position or writing place? Find that place, that happy place, and let your thoughts come out on paper. So that's number 5. And the 6th question you have to ask yourself is how? How do I want to write? What exactly do I want to write? Do I want to write a fiction, non-fiction? Do I want to write it chapter by chapter? How do I want to write? Because that helps you to also quantify the amount of time you need, how many words you will write per day, different things that will attribute to help you to write that book really fast. So start with your why, then you move on to your what, the who, the when, the where, and the how. So if you want to be a best-selling author this year, the place to start is to start to write.